Gorr, the last of his people, spends his days with his daughter Love attempting to survive in a barren desert. He begs his god Rapu for assistance, but Love perishes from starvation. Gorr discovers an oasis where he finds Rapu, who had killed the latest wielder of an ancient weapon known as All-Black the Necro sword, just as he begins to hear a voice calling out to him in the distance. Rapu mocks Gorr's helplessness and refuses to offer any assistance. Feeling betrayed, Gorr seizes the Necro sword and beheads him, vowing to wipe out all gods. Thor's adventures with the Guardians of the Galaxy continue, as he responds to distress calls across the universe while working to get back in shape. Thor, on the other hand, is dissatisfied with his current situation and plans to retire. There is an influx of distress calls about Gorr, one of which is from Sif, who had tracked him down. Thor and Korg respond to Sif's summons, splitting up with the Guardians, who depart to respond to the others. They come across a defeated Sif with her arm severed, who warns them that Gorr is about to attack New Asgard. Meanwhile, Dr. Jane Foster is undergoing chemotherapy for stage 4 cancer. Efforts to find a cure fail, and she loses hope, but Foster is inspired to travel to New Asgard in the hopes that their magic can help eliminate the cancer. Mjolnir is drawn to her presence, fusing itself back together and imbuing her with the mighty Thor's powers because Thor unknowingly enchanted it to protect Foster while they were together. Gorr uses the Necro sword that night to swarm New Asgard with shadow monsters. Thor, Korg, and Sif, as well as King Valkyrie and Foster, whom Thor is surprised to see, arrive to confront them. Despite repelling the monsters, Gorr escapes with Asgard's children, including Heimdall's son Axel. Thor communicates with Axel and discovers that the children have entered the Shadow Realm. Knowing that Gorr's power would be at its peak there, Thor, Foster, Valkyrie, and Korg travel to Omnipotent City to warn Zeus of Gorr and request an army to aid in his fight. Unconvinced that Gorr poses a threat to Omnipotent City, Zeus captures Thor, forcing the others to intervene and repel Zeus' men. During the fight, Zeus uses his thunderbolt to destroy Korg's body, leaving only his face intact, although this is enough for him to survive. Enraged, Thor impales Zeus in the chest with the thunderbolt, which Valkyrie steals as the group flees to confront Gorr in the Shadow Realm. Thor learns of Foster's cancer diagnosis on the way, and the two rekindle their relationship. When they arrive, they try to find the children only to discover that they have been duped. Gorr intended to take Stormbreaker in order to use the Bifrost Bridge to access eternity, where he could wish for the gods' annihilation. They fight Gorr and his shadow monsters once more, but are forced to flee back to New Asgard when Valkyrie and Foster are weakened. Gorr steals Stormbreaker before it can be transported across the Bifrost. Thor is informed that Mjolnir's effects are worsening Foster's cancer, and he urges her to stay behind to recover. Valkyrie is also unable to continue fighting, handing over the Thunderbolt to Thor so that he can face Gorr again. With Stormbreaker, Gorr begins to open Eternity's gate at the center of the universe. Thor appears and imbues the children with Thor's power, giving them the strength to defeat the remaining shadow monsters. Gorr gains an advantage over Thor. Foster, sensing his distress, decides to use Mjolnir again despite her weakened state and join the fight. Thor gives Foster plenty of time to shatter the Necro sword with Mjolnir, dooming herself and Gorr. Thor recovers Stormbreaker and instructs the children to use it to return home, but they are unable to prevent Gorr from entering eternity. As he rushes to Foster's side, Thor calls out to Gorr and begs him to choose love over death. Their love reminded him of his daughter's love, so he decided to use his wish to resurrect love. Foster succumbs to the cancer and passes into Valhalla. Thor agrees to Gorr's request to take care of love before he dies as a result of the Necro sword's curse. Following this, a statue of Foster as Thor the Mighty is erected in New Asgard. Sif and Valkyrie begin training the children in combat, while Korg's body fully regenerates in order for him to have children. Thor begins to raise Love as his own daughter, entrusting her with Stormbreaker while he fights with Mjolnir. As Love and Thunder, they begin traveling the galaxy, offering assistance to anyone in need. A recuperating Zeus dispatches his son Hercules to kill Thor in a mid-credits scene. In a post-credits scene, Foster arrives at Valhalla's gates, where Heimdall greets her and thanks her for saving his son.